AITA for laughing in my cousin's face when she tried to stage an intervention for my drug use? Quote, am I the asshole? Firm tip 9612. NTA. Obviously. Kara made a complete fool out of herself. You didn't have to help at all. Seriously. Who says this person went into the bathroom for a mysterious reason? Ones that I know about, they must have a drug problem. And then to stage an intervention. Wow. Napalm axolotl. 3887. NTA. I went through something similar with someone who saw me giving myself insulin and assumed that it was something else. I was meeting a bunch of people for dinner and gave myself my insulin shot while I was in my truck. Well, someone saw me in the parking lot and assumed I was shooting up. Then ran right into the restaurant and about chewed their lips off in their excitement to tattle on me. I was thoroughly embarrassed. But I also had my insulin kit in my purse and got the joy of verbally cutting them off at the knees. In front of everyone. Even so, it was still horrible, because people at all the other tables were staring at the drama. I left without eating because it upset me so bad. And then later I had a blood sugar crash from taking insulin without a meal. The person never apologized, either. To this very day I think they're still firmly convinced that I am a junkie and fooling everybody. Crafty_original_7349 1345. NTASHE owes you a major apology as her spreading untrue information about a possible drug addiction could have caused you to be harmed. What if somebody shared this information with your employer? Depending on your profession and your employer, you could have been suspended or lost your job. Forwardware 7913. 20527. No. NTA. No apology needed. I would have laughed my ass off too. She took a small thing that was none of her business and inflated it into a big production that is. Now all about her hurt feelings. XA0 dramatic much? XA0. Flimsy car 7926. 1575. 75. NTASHE assumed you had a drug problem. And then assumed your family was enabling you. No evidence. Just a story she made up. Then she stormed off before you could explain yourself. And then got mad because she wasn't there to hear your explanation. The best part about this is that this all started because she feels entitled to all your information. And the only possible reason you wouldn't want to tell her is because the truth is the worst thing imaginable. Psychotic. You handled this the best you could. And she owed you an apology for spreading rumors. JWick 1315. 420. AITA for telling my mom she and her husband need to admit they fucked up and find a way to move on? Am I the asshole? Some_donut_4825. NTA. You lived in a house 50% of the time where you couldn't close your bedroom door for 7 years. Damn. How does anyone create such an insane rule and not know they are completely in the wrong? I am so sorry you had to grow up like that. Up. Toxic Redox. 2317. The fact your mom and stepdad's crazy rules made you all work together as team to thwart them at every turn is hilarious. They got exactly what they wanted. Kids who work together as a team. Just against them. Quote, Miss Kitty Girl 13. 1814. NTA. Family can't be forced on you by rules. Those are just crazy. I would get out and never come back after getting 18. Forgerous. 7136. NTA. Your mom needs to realize to cut out all that crap now or all kinds are going to cut them off when they turn 18. Merlin Biggs. 733. There was a similar dynamic after I divorced. But no step-siblings. My daughter was not encouraged, but forced to refer to her stepfather as her father. And shamed and guilted if she didn't. I lived 8 miles from her and her mom and I was very involved. parent and had weekly visits. So, WTF was that all about? Insecurity added to my first wife's guilt because she cheated on me. She thought that one big happy family would make it all better. This all started when my daughter was 3. She's 27 now, married and on her own. She has a strained relationship with her mom and stepfather. She called me to help her plan her wedding, and when she needs to talk through serious stuff she calls me, not her mom. Plus, non-serious conversations are an absolute joy for us both. If your mom has internet access, maybe send her the link to this post. She's never going to believe you when you tell her how you feel. You re-NTA. And maybe seeing a bunch of disinterested third-party replies validating your steps, your siblings, and your feelings will give her the insight to stop trying to force bonds. Ironically, if they had left things alone, there is the possibility you all would have bonded out of choice. Source separate 3759. 368. AITA for only paying my stepson's bill at family dinner? Am I the asshole? Tall Kamki. NTA. Woo www. So they were expecting you to pay for them all the whole time? And they act offended that you chose to cover only yourself and your minor stepson who was in your care? My gosh. Some epic audacity by those folks. They made asses of themselves for assuming too much and then taking their mistake out on you. Falling into polka dots. 1417. NTA. What kind of people invite you to dinner expecting you to pay for them? The amount of money you make is irrelevant. General_relative 2838. 666. It's absolutely vile of your family to invite you somewhere that 2 meals adds up to $250. And they expect you to cover everyone's bill. Are you really supposed to just drop $1,000 for dinner? Just as vile is your family insinuating that your stepson isn't your family. Who cares if he's not related by blood? You chose to have him in your immediate family, and to me, that's even more meaningful. NTA. I would never accept an invitation with your relatives again. B. Mandalore Tamid. 8242. I guess you now know the main reason they invite you to dinner. XA0 NTA at all. Only Ingenuity 7889. 286. NTA. They sent out the invitation. Either they pay for everybody's meal or they should say everybody goes Dutch. Do you frequently cover everybody's meal even if they are the ones who invited you? Quote. Hell Coach. 333. AITA for kicking my 26 meters sister 29F and her children out over a toothbrush? Am I the asshole? Chase 99 Marshall. And NTA. You said, stay out of this private room. You can use all the public spaces. That's very reasonable. She let her kids go in the room and play with your stuff without permission. And they opened a packaged toothbrush for some strange reason. I mean, it's not even opening a toy. It's a toothbrush. Why would they touch that? Then she blamed you for leaving it out in the open, in the room they weren't supposed to be in. Now she thinks you should keep letting her stay there where they will definitely trash your stuff on purpose now. Autism and special interest are red herrings here. They make this feel more important and emotional to you. But without that, if you were realistic and you had whatever in that room, she would still be totally in the wrong. Napalm Axolotl. 6629. NTA. Guests who don't follow the rules of the invitation, even if they're family, deserve to be sent packing. Also, no guest should ever damage their host's possessions. That's a universal rule of etiquette. Away with dumb. 613. You didn't kick them out over a toothbrush. You asked your sister to leave after she ignored your boundaries and dehumanized you by saying your wants and needs are not important. There might be a correlation to her dissolving marriage. and the lack of respect she shows other people. Mission Honeydew 2209, 2214, 14. NTA. You asked her to leave because she specifically disobeyed the one rule you imposed on her and refused to accept accountability or responsibility, let alone apologize. It was disrespectful, and good on you for enforcing boundaries. You were doing her a favor and she tried to take advantage. Sylvia 916, 727, 27. NTA. Get your sister and her kids out of your house now. She's made it clear that she will not support or enforce the boundaries you set. Yes. This time it was a toothbrush. But what will it be? Next time? You set crystal clear boundaries and she allowed her kids to blithely and completely ignore them. And then gaslit you by suggesting that this was your fault for not. What? Putting everything you care about in a safe? What, precisely, does she think you ought have done to protect things you treasure in your own home? If they can't be good, courteous guests, and respect your space and your property, then do not have them in your home. E. McFadden 65, 269.